Yeah, what's going on with y'all boys, man? CJ back with another video, and today I'm gonna be doing my first My League video. So in this video, I'm gonna be swapping out Shai Gilgeous' career with Michael Jordan, which I know sounds crazy, but they call Shai Gilgeous Maple Jordan in case y'all haven't known or don't know. That's one of his nicknames. And we're starting off right here at the screen because I did not know that Hakeem's name was actually Akeem. I did not know that. I just looked it up because I seen this. I was like, what? His name is Hakeem. But I looked it up. His name, his birth name, I'm pretty sure it was Akeem, and then he switched it to Hakeem. Fun fact right there. I did not know that at all. But we're gonna go ahead and skip this. We already did the draft. Of course, we picked Shai with the first pick to the Bulls. You see first pick right there, Shai Gilgeous at a 73 overall. All right, so looking at the Bulls roster here, we got Shai at point guard, Reggie Theus at the 2, and everybody else I do not know. I only know Reggie because of my team. Right now, we're off to a terrible start. So the Bulls are still looking very bad, but of course, because Shai is a 73 overall right now, so they're gonna be bad for some years. They're not gonna be good. And man, it's just looking absolutely terrible for this team right now. 9-51 is crazy. So Magic wins MVP. The previous year was actually Larry Bird when I first sim. So the first year Larry Bird won that. Go ahead and sim this round right here too. We're getting the Celtics and Lakers rivalry here. And no, he's going right back to the paint, kicking it out to the 3, and that's wide open. Wide open, and he saw. Imagine being that wide open. And this is to win it all right here. This is to not win it all, but it's to tie the game right here. You're down 3. You need this for your team, and you can go into OT and potentially win the chip, but you miss. Wide open 3. They wasn't hitting 3s back then like that, but come on, man. That's wide open. So in that game 6 there, Larry Bird drops 30 and 10. Robert Parrish with 19 and 21. Like, imagine having these two players just going off like this. I know Robert Parrish shot terribly. Larry Bird only played 27 minutes. It's crazy. Larry should have definitely played more minutes, but Larry went and dropped 30, and y'all lose. All right, so it's game 7. We're about to simulate again, and it's looking like the Lakers are going to pull away with this one, and the Lakers end up winning the chip. Magic ended up going off in those last few quarters. He ends up dropping 29, Kareem with 26. Let's see, Larry Bird with 25, and the Lakers win the championship. So second pick, they got Patrick Ewing, which is nice. So you get a good center, Hall of Fame center, paired up with Shai Gilgeous. So in his second year, Shai Gilgeous is a 78 overall. Reggie Theus is on the team, Patrick Ewing. Also, I forgot to check how Shai did his first year. First year, he averaged 12 points, 44% from the 3, 49% from the field. Actually, it was pretty good for his first year. So 12 points first year. So Magic ends up winning MVP this year. Karl Malone, Rookie of the Year. Jim Paxson, 6th man. DPOY is Hakeem. Larry Bird and Magic, they all NBA first team. Hakeem made it, of course. We're going to go ahead and, did we make the playoffs? Yes, we did. So we made the playoffs as a 5th seed. Let's see how this goes. Simulate through that first game. We end up losing to the Bucks. The series is tied up now 2-2. Sim another one, and we have been eliminated. All right, so the Celtics are back in the finals. Lakers are back. The Lakers win the chip this year. Let's see who retired this year. Kareem's retiring. So next year they will not have Kareem. So Patrick in his first year averaged almost 20 points a game with 9 rebounds. Shai Gilgeous in his second year averaging 16 points, playing much better than he did the previous season. All right, so we're going to go ahead and sim the season again. This is our 3rd season. All right, so there goes Larry Bird with the MVP, averaging 25 a game. Mark Price wins Rookie of the Year. Also wins 6th Man of the Year. Hakeem with DPOY. MIP is Patrick Ewing, averaging 26 in his second year. So that's a big jump. Also got 12 rebounds this year as well. And Shai's averaging 18 in his 3rd season, which is a good look for us. We're back in the playoffs as a 5th seed once again, and this year we're playing Philly. Let's go ahead and sim again, and we've been eliminated once again. That first round, we're out. So let's go ahead and sim the playoffs, and the Lakers end up beating the Celtics, and that's another championship for the Lakers. That's 4 chips in a row now. So even after losing Kareem, the Lakers go ahead and win another chip. That's 4 rings in a row. Kareem retires, and Magic is still out here winning rings, so that's 4 rings for Magic. Actually, I'm tweaking. So you go back and look at this. I'm completely wrong here. It's not 4. He won 4 in a row, but overall he has 6 rings. Magic Johnson's taking over the video right now, but Shai still got years to go. Shai's still young. Maybe Shai will end up competing with Magic in the finals at some point, but we'll see how that turns out. Magic is all NBA, and now Shai is all NBA. Patrick's all NBA second team. So 4 years into Shai's career, 2-time NBA All-Star, 1-time All NBA first team, and first team all rookie, so that's a good look for him. All right, so year 4 for the Bulls. They're back in the playoffs once again, but no improvements. They're back in the 5th seed. We may have a tough matchup here facing the Celtics. The Celtics have Larry Bird still, so that's going to be a tough one. We might sweep the Celtics here game 3, and there we go. It's a clean sweep. I keep forgetting that it's 3 games and not 4. So we end up beating the Celtics. For the first time, the Bulls make it out of the first round, and now we're up 3-1, and we get the job done 4-1. So now we're moving on to the conference finals. That's a good look for us. And now we're facing Indiana. And it's looking like we might end up facing Magic's team. So we're going to sim game 1. We win game 1. We win game 2. It's looking like we might win the finals here. We've been doing so good in the East here. So Lakers end up winning that game 2-3. And they're forcing the game 7 here. So Magic said, I'm not going out. The Lakers going to force the game 7. So simming through the game here, the Jazz are up. And it's not looking good for Lakers at all. And it's looking like this year they're not making the finals, as they go ahead and lose that game. So game 1, we're going to take game 1. I think we win this one. Game 2, I think we sweep this whole thing. Game 3, yep, we go ahead and, no, we don't sweep. We're going to get the gentleman sweep here. Let's go ahead and do, no, we don't do that either. Come on, man, no way. Patrick's a 92 now, so Patrick is a whole 92 overall, and the Mavericks might pull off a crazy comeback. So year 4, we finally do it. Shai gets his first ring. Shai dropped 24 and 12, and Patrick dropped 25. And we win the chip there. Shai averaging 24 games, 6 rebounds, and 14 assists in the finals. That is insane. He won finals MVP. So through 4 years, Shai gets his first ring. And let's see if they could two-peat. All right, so we're jumping into year 5 here. And after winning the ring, Shai Gilgeous is no longer with the Bulls. So Shai ended up signing with the Hornets. He's out there with Fred George. I have no idea who that is. Rodney McRae, Gerald Wilkins, and Rick Smits. They just drafted Rick Smits this year too, yeah. So it's his first year, 7'4" big man. So let's see how this turns out for Shai. So Shai with his brand new team is 20 and 11 right now. They're second in the East. And let's see if he can pull off another championship with a different team. So in Shai's first year with the Hornets, they finished 7th out of the whole NBA, winning 50 games and only 32 losses. So that's a good look for them. Honestly, they got a chance to compete for a championship here in his first year with the Hornets. All right, so checking the box score here. Honestly, I expected a lot better from Shai. A game 7, I thought Shai would play better. He did have a triple-double, but he didn't shoot too well, 4 for 12 with 8 turnovers, but they do end up pulling away with the dub there. And surprisingly, the Celtics lose this one, because you got Larry Bird with 24, 8 for 15. Kevin McHale dropped 20, 10. Overall, everybody on the Hornets team outside from Shai shot pretty well. They're advancing to the finals. And then over here out west, they're going to a game 7 as well. We might end up facing the Mavericks once again. We're just going to go ahead and sim this game and see what happens. The Mavericks end up winning that game. Mark Aguirre drops 32, 9, and 8. Big game from him. Rolando Blackman with 24. All right, so once again, for the second year in a row, Shai's in the NBA Finals, and let's see how this goes. Can he pull off another ring? They lose the first game, and they lose the second game. It is not looking good for the Hornets. And Shai's still injured, still recovering from that injury. And now we're down 3-0. Let's go and sim through this game. We do pull a game, and then we end up losing the series 4-1. So the Mavericks end up winning the chip. Justin Malone gets Finals MVP. I have no idea who this is. He's an 83 overall, but he wins Finals MVP. So Shai's second year with the Hornets, they win 54 games. He's averaging 26 a game with 10 assists. So Shai's second year with the Hornets, they're the 2nd seed, and the Mavericks are now the 7th seed, and let's see if they can make it to the finals once again. All right, so now in the second round here, we're facing DPOY Hakeem, and this might be a tough one. So similar to the first game, the Rockets end up beating us. The Rockets are up 2-0 now. Now they're up 3-0, and it's looking like we might get swept. This is not a good look, and Shai is playing. Shai's healthy, and we end up getting swept. So even changing the rotation, we get swept, and that is not a good look for Shai. So the Rockets end up going to a game 7 in the finals. They win that game 7, and who else than Hakeem winning a finals MVP, averaging 22 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists with 2 blocks. So Hakeem ends up getting his first ring there. So Shai is now 6 years into his career. He's got 1 championship, 1 finals MVP, 4-time All-Star. He hasn't won an MVP yet. He's coming off a year where he's averaging 26 points a game. This is his 3rd year with the Hornets. So we sim to the end of the season. D-Rob is out here with his 2nd MVP in 2 years, and D-Rob this time taking DPOY over Hakeem. Vlade Divac wins most improved, and Shai Gilgeous once again for the 3rd year in a row, I'm pretty sure, or 4th year, I forget now, but Shai Gilgeous once again on the All-NBA first team, along with Magic Johnson and Karl Malone, and Scottie Pippen's there too, and D-Rob. So in Shai's 3rd year with the Hornets, he's averaging 29 points per game, but this year they have been significantly worse than they was in previous years. They're now the 7th seed, and let's see if they can make it out the first round. We're going to go ahead and simulate this round, and we get swept in the first round, and it's just not looking good for Shai. We're going to go ahead and simulate the playoffs. And Magic Johnson looking to make his return to the NBA Finals, and he does, and Magic goes and wins another ring after not making the finals for a few years. Magic out here averaging 24 points and 10 assists, and at this point Magic is 31 years old. So through 12 years of his career, Magic wins 7 rings, 2 MVPs, 7 Finals MVPs, 11-time All-Star. This man's going strong with 7 rings. That's actually crazy. So he's making an argument for the greatest of all time. There's no MJ at this point, so we'll see how MJ's career goes when we get there. But as of right now, Magic Johnson's Johnson's looking like the GOAT. So jumping into Shai's 8th year now, the Hornets are second in the power ranking, so they're looking a lot better than they were last season. We're going to check the roster real quick. Rick Smith is now in 86. So after having a few down years, Magic Johnson is back out here with a vengeance, averaging 27.7 points a game and 10.6 assists, won MVP once again. So now Magic adds another MVP to his catalog with 3 MVPs, 7 Finals MVPs, and 7 rings. And Shai's up there with another All-NBA first team. So in year 8, Shai is now a 93 overall, averaging 28.7 points a game and 9 assists. And after having that one down year, the Hornets are back in the playoffs. They're the 2nd seed, and hopefully they can make it back to the finals. Let's go ahead and send around. And now we're playing the Celtics once again, who are also looking good, as they had a few down years, but the Celtics are the 3rd seed now with Derek Harper, Doug West, Stanley Cotton, Kevin McHale, and William Bedford. I wonder, I don't think they don't got Larry Bird no more. Let's see where Larry went. Wow, so this is why the Lakers are out here winning. When did Larry join the Lakers? That is crazy. So Larry's been on the Lakers for a minute, and I was not aware I did not know this is what was happening. So this is Larry's 3rd year with the Lakers. I was not aware of this. I thought Larry was still with the Celtics. This man Larry Bird said, look, I'm gonna go the KD route. I'm losing. I want to win. I'm going to join one of the best teams. So he goes and joins the Lakers. He's paired up with Magic Johnson. This was supposed to be a rivalry too. This was supposed to be rivals, but once rivals are now teammates. So Shai looking to hopefully make his way back to the finals, and we're gonna have to play that crazy Lakers team. I don't know if we could pull that off. The Lakers are the #1 seed in the West. So simming through the first game against the Celtics, we do win that first game, and we go ahead and win the second game, and it's looking like we're gonna go ahead and sweep through the second round as well, which we do. The Lakers are out there at 2-1. They should be sweeping this team, but they're up 2-1 right now. The Lakers end up beating Golden State 4-2. Now they're in the conference finals along with us. We're in the conference finals on the East. So simulate game 1. The Knicks take game 1. The Knicks take game 2, and this is not a good look. We're facing this dominant Knicks team. We got a few injuries happening here. The Knicks take game 3, and it's looking like we might get swept here. And the Knicks go ahead and sweep us. That is not a good look. I was hoping for Shai to make the finals, but that did not happen. So the Shai and the Hornets get swept in the conference finals. And let's see how the Lakers finish this matchup right here. They're now 3-1. And the Lakers go and get the gentleman sweep against the Suns. They're 4-1. And now we get this matchup between the Knicks and the Lakers. The Knicks go and win game 1. Lakers win game 2. Lakers win game 3. And now they're up 3-1. And of course, they're going to go ahead and not win that one. I was about to say, and of course, they go ahead and win, but they do not. And the Knicks go and force a game 7, which is crazy. So you know what we're going to do here? Simulate with Simcast and watch this one if it ends up being a close game in the 4th quarter. And it's looking like the Knicks are about to pull away with this one. There's a minute left, a minute 25. The Lakers actually cut that lead down to 2. We're going to go ahead and jump into this. So 1 minute left. The Lakers have the ball. They got a lot of options here. You got Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, so they should be able to get a bucket here. It's honestly crazy if they don't. They're going to go ahead and get Magic in the post. Magic going with that step back. And there, Magic goes and hits a step back out the post to tie the game. 50 seconds left. All right, 50 seconds left. And the Knicks got the ball. And let's see if they can get a bucket. Dominique Wilkins getting stripped. They're going right back to Magic. Magic going right back to the post. Another little fade. That's another bucket. Magic is absolutely taking over here. So even though the Lakers do have a stacked team here, Magic is making the case for greatest of all time. Having that big comeback here. They get a nice shot right there. They do hit the shot to tie the game up. But Magic is honestly making an argument here for greatest of all time. You see when his team needs the most, he's coming through. He's hitting big shots to hopefully win his 8th ring. There's 18 seconds left and they get the ball right back to Magic Johnson. Let's see what he's going to do here. He's got the ISO. It's just him and his matchup. And it looks like he's saving the ball for the last shot. Yep, that's it. Easy bucket. That was a tough 73%. Tough layup right there. But Magic gets the bucket. And I think that's it. I think that's the game unless they hit a crazy shot right here. Wilkins with a crazy pull-up 3. Almost goes in, but it does not. And the Lakers win their 8th, or not the Lakers, but Magic wins his 8th ring in his career. So looking at the box score here, Ralph Sampson, 23-11. Karl Malone with a pretty dominant game though, 27 points, 14 rebounds, 9 assists, almost had a triple-double along with 2 blocks. He played a very good game. Dominique Wilkins with 10 points. He is 32 years old. He's 88 though. Dominique Wilkins should have played better, 5 for 11. And Magic Johnson with 34 points and 14 assists. Larry Bird out here with 1988, which is solid, it's decent. James Worthy with 14, but Magic Johnson's out here leading his team to another ring. And man, just look at this dominant performance here. 4th quarter, Magic plays 7 minutes and puts up 16 points, 7 for 7. Did not miss a single shot in this 4th quarter. He comes through with a big game for the team. And throughout the playoffs this year, Magic was averaging 31 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists. For sure going to get another Finals MVP in his belt. So here we go. We got Magic and the Lakers win another ring. It's Magic's 8th ring here. And they go ahead and hand Magic his Finals MVP trophy once again. Look at that big fade shot, man. That was a 77% contested layup, that fade. This man was out here getting buckets. He was out here trying to get another ring, and that's what he does, his 8th ring. So Magic, with 8 rings, he four-peated, had about 4 years where they didn't make the finals, or just, they didn't win the championship. I don't really remember what happened those 4 years where they didn't make it, or if they made the finals or lost in the finals or what. Now they've won 2 straight rings in the years 91 and 92. And checking the draft here, Shaq ends up going to the Heat with the first pick, Jim Jackson going to the Bulls, Alonzo Mourning to the Pacers, Christian Laettner to Philly, LaFonso Ellis going to Portland. So year 9, Shai Gilgeous is still with the Hornets, and now they are ranked number 1 in the power rankings. And let's see if they can finally make it back to the finals. Magic Johnson's out here with another MVP once again. This man is going absolutely crazy. Shaq is winning Rookie of the Year. 6th man is going to John Williams again. DPOY is D-Rob. MIP is Greg Anthony. Shai Gilgeous is hurt entering the playoffs, but they did end up finishing second, I think. I think they finished second in the East now. Yeah, they're back in the East. So they finished second in the East. But unfortunately, heading into the playoffs, Shai's hurt and Rick Smits is on a cold streak. That is not a good look. And then out west, we're looking at the Lakers, the number 1 seed, looking to probably win another ring. So game 1, even though Shai is hurt, we do end up winning game 1. We win 2 games, and there goes the gentleman sweep in the first round. In the second round, it's not looking good here. We're down 3-1. We're going to go ahead and adjust the rotations, and hopefully we can come back from this 3-1 deficit. We go ahead and win a game, and now we're forcing the game 7. So game 7 so far, it's a back and forth game here. We're entering the 4th quarter, and it's looking good for us. We're up. Score is 85-101 right now with a minute left, and we go ahead and win that game. So game 7, Shai drops 25 on 7 for 17 shooting, but they still ended up pulling away the dub. And honestly, checking the stats here, Shai honestly didn't play that good this series. Played 30 minutes, and then in the game 1, he had 18 points, shot 7 for 14. In game 2, he had 20 points. Game 3, he did have 38 points. And then game 4, he has 22. Game 5, 24 with 10 rebounds, shooting 45%. And then game 6, he has an absolute monster game, dropping 47 points. And then the game 7, he just has a decent 25-point game, 7 for 17. So now moving on to the conference finals here. The Lakers are playing the Warriors once again, I believe. I think last season they did play the Warriors in the conference finals. And we're playing Miami this time, going up against Shaq and his Miami Heat team. Let's see who they got. So this Heat team, they got Hershey Hawkins, they got Jerome Kersey, Sean Kemp, Shaq, Bill Lambert, Kenny Anderson. So they got a pretty stacked team out here. So this Miami team is going to be tough to beat. We simulate the first game, Miami beats us. We end up winning the second game. We're tied right now. We win game 3. Now we're tied up 2-2. And Miami takes the lead with 3-2. And then Miami ends up beating the Hornets in the conference finals. That is not good. Shai did try his best here in an elimination game. He drops 32 points, 11 assists, but it wasn't enough. And what's crazy, this game's an elimination game, and Shaq goes 4 for 14, which is insane, 4 for 14, but he is a rookie. So simulating the round, and the Lakers end up losing to the Warriors in the conference finals, which is crazy. Magic had 22. They went to a game 7. So Larry Bird ended up leaving that Lakers team after they won the ring, and Magic does not advance to the finals. Oh, that's crazy. So that's a crazy plot twist right there. So I'm looking at this Warriors team. Larry Bird goes and joins the Warriors after just playing with Magic in the previous season. For a few years he played with Magic. They won a ring. I think they only won 1 ring together, or maybe 2. Let me actually check and see how many rings he won with them. He won 2 years with Magic and the Lakers. After getting those 2 rings, he comes over to Golden State and beats Magic and the Lakers in the conference finals. He's going for his 4th against the Miami Heat, and let's see if Larry Bird can get it done. So they do win game 1, they win game 2, they win game 3, and Larry Bird and the Golden State Warriors sweep their way through the finals. So looking at the finals MVP, it was Stacey King, which is crazy because he only averaged 12 points and 11 rebounds. Let's see how Larry Bird did throughout the series. So game 1, Shaq had 22 and 11. Larry Bird is 3 for 3, only 4 minutes, which is crazy. So they're not even. So yeah, because I was gonna say that's crazy they're not playing him. It looks like 4 minutes into the game, he comes in, he's doing his thing, 7 points, 3 for 3, and then he gets injured. So game 2 he doesn't play, game 3 he doesn't play, and then he comes back game 4, and in game 4 he drops 24 points, and that was it. They swept him. His team held him down while he was injured those 2 games, and he comes back as a pretty good game. And now Larry Bird wins the championship again. So Larry Bird back on the rivalry with Magic. They end up playing each other in the conference finals. He beats Magic Johnson and gets another ring. So jumping into year 10 here, and the Hornets are the 8th seed, and it's just going downhill here for them. Shai is injured right now, so he won't be playing in this first round. They're dealing with a lot of injuries right now. Shai's out for like 2 to 4 weeks, and I don't think he'll be playing in this first round. So we're just going to go ahead and simulate the playoffs. And of course, they get swept, so they don't even get a chance to compete for a championship this year. Shai's hurt, and they just had a down year, so it's not looking good for the Hornets. Miami's looking to make their way back to the finals. Miami having an absolute dominant playoff run here, sweeping 2 series and having a gentleman sweep against the Bulls. And here they are now in the finals playing the Mavericks, and let's see how this goes. So through 4 games, they're up 3-1, and they go ahead and get the gentleman sweep. And Shaq gets his first ring with the Miami Heat, averaging 23 points, almost 11 rebounds a game, and 2 blocks. So in Shaq's second year, he wins a ring, he wins Finals MVP, and makes his first All-Star appearance. So after Larry Bird's long 15-year career, he finally calls it quits, finishing his career with 4 NBA championships, 2 MVPs, 15-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA first team. That man had a hell of a career. In his final year with Golden State, he did average 18 points. In the previous year, 22 points. And moving on to the draft now, the Spurs with the first pick get Grant Hill, the Bucks draft Jason Kidd, the Suns get Alexander Bolden, no idea who that is, I don't even think that's a real person. The Warriors get Glenn Robinson. So this year, Shai does not end up making All-NBA first team, but he does make All-NBA second team. Let's check his stats real quick. So Shai is now 11 years in, points dropped drastically from 29 down to 23, and it looks like at this point he's going to start declining. And this year he did only play 63 games after the previous seasons being relatively healthy, but outside of him having a pretty down year, the Hornets are the 6th seed. I do not expect much from this team. The Hornets do end up getting swept, so they do not advance, and we're just going to simulate the playoffs here. And Miami Heat wins another ring. Shaq gets his second ring in 2 years, and Shawn Kemp wins Finals MVP. So Shai is now 30 years old. He is on a decline, so he goes from a 94 down to a 91. And Shaq in his 4th year is out here dominating the NBA. He wins MVP, also wins Defensive Player of the Year. But this year, unfortunately for Shai and the Hornets, they do not make the playoffs. If the Hornets ended up 26 in the NBA. So coming back to the playoffs here, the Heat end up sweeping their way through pretty much every series. They go 3-1 in the first round, swept the next 2 rounds, and in the finals they go 4-1 against Portland, who was the 8th seed and made it all the way to the finals. What's funny here is look at this Bulls roster. We come and look at the roster here, and they got Scottie Pippen on the team. So ended up getting Scottie Pippen, and Shai really, I should have made Shai stay with the Bulls. He would have had MJ's actual duo with him, so I should have did that, but Shai ended up going to the Hornets, so the Bulls now have Penny Hardaway to replace Shai. And this Portland team, even though they are the 8th seed, they actually had a really nice roster. They got a young KG, they got Purvis Ellison, LaFonso Ellis, Dennis Scott, Allen Houston, and Muggsy Bogues. So they do got a pretty good roster there, and they end up making their way all the way to the finals. Shaq in this game 1, this man was going crazy. He dropped 42 points, 13 rebounds. So ever since drafting Shaq, this Miami Heat team been on a crazy run. In 4 years, Shaq has won 3 rings. So now we're in the year 1996, and checking the drafts here, the Jazz draft Steve Nash at number 1. The Bullets get Allen Iverson with the number 2 pick. The Knicks get Kobe. The Raptors get Ray Allen. Mavs get Stojakovic. And then we go ahead and draft Sharif. Philly also got Stephon Marbury, which is a pretty nice pick right there, the 9th pick. So we're now in Shai's 13th year, and I don't think Shai's going to return back to the playoffs with this team. He is a 90, still high overall at the age of 31. And through 13 years of play, he only got 1 ring, 1 Finals MVP. He's never won an MVP. He got 10-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA first team. So he's got some pretty good accolades there, but he's never won an MVP, and he's only gotten 1 ring. So we started simulating, and I'm thinking this Hornets team isn't going to be anything nice, but you see right now they're 13-2, which is crazy. So they do have a few 80 overalls on the team now, and the roster honestly isn't looking that bad now. You know, you got the low 80s here. They currently have the best record in the NBA right now. They're 13-2, number 1 in the power rankings. But when it comes playoff time, I don't know how they're going to beat teams like this where they have 2 superstars or 2 all-stars on the team. And looking at this Bulls team too, you got an 89 overall Penny Hardaway, you got a 91 Scottie Pippen, and we can't forget about this Heat team who's really stacked. They just won a championship. You still got a 94 overall Shaq who's still young or early in his career. So Jason Kidd ends up winning MVP in his 3rd year, averaging 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 10 assists. Allen Iverson wins Rookie of the Year, averaging 27 a game. And then Shaq wins his first DPOY. And then after 2 years of not making the first All-NBA team, Shai's back. He finished the season averaging 23 points a game and 9 assists, shooting 50% and 42% from 3. And we're back in the playoffs at the 6th seed. We did have a really good start and just fell off. And then we get swept in the first round. So the Hornets make it back to the playoffs, but they get swept in the first round, so it's not looking good. And the Miami Heat go right back to the finals and win another championship. Shaq wins another Finals MVP, averaging about 23 points a game and 10 rebounds. So that's 4 years in a row now that the Miami Heat have won a championship. Shaq got his 4th ring in just 5 years. And in the 1997 draft, the Lakers get Tim Duncan, the Hawks get Chauncey Billups, Philly gets Tracy McGrady with the 3rd pick. And that first pick for the Lakers might just be able to get the Lakers back in the playoffs. You see here you got a 37-year-old Magic, but he is still an 87 overall. He might drop down to like 86, 85. So coming back to this Lakers roster, Magic is now an 84 at 38 years old. They got Nick Anderson on the team, Isaiah Ryder, and they have Tim Duncan at power forward that they just drafted this year. And once again, just like last season, the Hornets are off to a good start, 13-4. They still have the same roster from last year pretty much, but I don't know if they'll hold up. Just like like last year, you know, they started off good and then they ended up in like the 7th, 6th seed. And right after I get done saying that, they're going to lose some games. Now they're 15-11. They're up and down. Now they're on an 11-game win streak. So it's like, you know, they get to a good start, then they start losing games. So we'll see what happens this year. They're still second in the West, or not West, but they're second in the East now. So we get to the end of the season here, and the Hornets end up having a really good season. They finished with 61 wins and 20 losses. They're second in the East. At 32 years old, Shai's still at 91 overall, so he's not declining much. He did drop down for that 94, 93 overall, I think, but he's staying around 90, 91. And overall, they got a pretty good roster, so let's see what they end up doing in the playoffs. And Shai this year is still doing what he does every year. 23 points a game, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, shooting 48%, 43% from 3. And to no surprise, the Heat are still the best team in the NBA with 62 wins and 19 losses. And the Lakers end up finishing with the 9th best record in the NBA. Magic in his 19th year averaging 16 points a game and 7 assists. Tim Duncan in his first year averaging 16 points and 9 rebounds. And Shaq wins another MVP. Tim Duncan wins Rookie of the Year. And Shaq wins another DPOY for the 2nd year in a row. And Shai's back on the All-NBA first team. He also makes All-NBA first defensive team. So we're back in the playoffs here in the first round. We're facing Detroit, and hopefully we can make it past the first round this year. And we go ahead and sweep our way through the first round. The Bulls end up losing to Orlando. The Celtics get swept. And of course, Miami sweeps their way through the first round as well. And then we end up getting the gentleman's sweep against Orlando. Miami looking to do the same thing, 3-1 right now in their series. And they end up finishing the series 4-2. And now we're facing Orlando in the conference finals. And this is going to be a tough matchup. We're the 2nd seed. They're currently the best team in the NBA. And they're the 1st seed. We're going to be playing Shaq. And this is going to be a tough matchup. So game 1 is a good look. We end up blowing them out. Shai drops 31, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. Shaq with 32 points, but they still end up losing as he had no help from any of his teammates. We sent through game 2. We end up losing game 2. So the series is tied now. Shaq drops 35 points. Now he has some more help from his teammates. Shawn Kemp dropping 29. Shai on the other end dropping 22. Alright, so this game 3 is a close one. We're down to 5 minutes in the 4th quarter. We're going to go ahead and jump into this and watch this one. Shai currently struggling right now, shooting 5 for 12, but he does have 8 rebounds and 10 assists. Almost has a triple-double. Shawn Kemp with 27 points, and Shaq is having a tough game this game as well. Shooting 8 for 19, but he does have 14 rebounds, 4 steals, and 3 blocks. They're getting the ball right down to the post to Shaq. You know Shaq's about to hit that drop step. Easy bucket for Shaq. They're getting the ball right back to Shai here, deep in the post. He tries to go up. Shaq gets the block. I was going to say easy bucket. That's not easy bucket, though. We get the board. Shai coming down with the ball by himself, and that's the easy bucket right there. And now Shawn Kemp getting the ball in the post. He throws up a little floater. It goes in. Takes a screen there. Kicks it to his teammate. Wide open from the mid-range. They're giving it right back to Shawn Kemp, who's posting up all by himself. Nope, he does not get the bucket. That was a wild shot. He just took a wild shot, but it goes in. And they're getting the ball right back to Shaq here, who's got a... Oh, he's low-key getting body right there, but he gets right into the paint, misses. And he pulls up for a contested midi right there, 65%, knocks it down. Surprisingly, he takes that mid-range and knocks it down. Another contested midi going down. It's looking like he's got nothing right now. He's by himself, throws up a post hook, he misses. So they're getting the ball back down to Shawn Kemp in the post here. Hits a nice drop step, easy bucket. And they're looking to run a pick and roll here. Shoots a fade 3, and he knocks it down. So a big shot right there. They're getting the ball right back to Shawn Kemp, who's going for a nice fade. He does not knock it down. The Hornets get the rebound. 38 seconds on the clock. And they go ahead and knock down another 3. Going right back to Shawn Kemp here, who's throwing up a lab. Misses, gets his own board, goes right back up. Who passes out to Busher. And he does not knock down the 3. And that's it. Miami loses the game. So Shai in that game 3 finishes with 19 points, 8 rebounds, 12 assists. Shawn Kemp finishes with 33. And Shaq finishes with 19, shooting 9 for 21, which is not a good look for the MVP. So we're going to go ahead and simulate another game. The Hornets are at home here. It's a back and forth game. And now it's looking like the Miami Heat are about to take off. They're blowing the Hornets out. And that is a win for Miami. Now we're back tied 2-2. Shai in this game drops 25 points. Mark Price scores 20. And then Miami's back home here. Another close game. They're going back and forth. We're about to be heading into the 4th quarter. 3 minutes left, and it's looking like Miami's taking another game. Miami wins that game 5, and Shaq has an absolutely dominant performance with 45 points, 15 rebounds. Shai also with a really good performance, shooting 7 for 12 from 3, 31 points and 14 assists, but they end up losing that game. We're going to go ahead and simulate once again. The Hornets are back home, and let's see if they can force a game 7. Right now, they're losing. Heading into the 4th quarter, they're going back and forth. It's a close game, 6 minutes left. And getting down to the 2-minute mark, start. The score is 109 to 104, and we're going to jump in and see if the Hornets can come back and win this game. So jumping into this game with 2 minutes left, we got Shaq at the line right now, and we know he can't shoot free throws. He misses. We grab the board. There goes a wide open three for the Hornets. They do not knock it down. That was a big shot right there. They really needed that. They're getting it down to Shaq in the post, trying to bully his way in the paint. Goes up with a layup, 46% contested, but it does not matter. Shaq knocks it down. Shai's posting up, goes for that step back, and he knocks it down. Big shot right there. Now they're getting it down the post to Shawn Kemp. He gets the pump fake. He's got nowhere to go right now. He tries to drop it down to Shaq, and he turns it over. They kick it out to the three. That was a terrible look, and he misses. So they're getting the ball right back to Shawn Kemp in the post. He goes for that fade, and he knocks it down. Another wide open shot. That's not wide open at all. That's a bad shot. He's backing him down, bullying his way in the post. Post hook, knocks it down. Shawn Kemp and Shaq are just out here getting buckets. And as you see right here in this fourth quarter, Shaq and Shawn Kemp were absolutely stupid. Shaq going 7 for 7 with 14 points. Shawn Kemp 5 for 5 with 11. Now on the other end, Shai only going 2 for 4 with 5 points. And that's it for the Hornets. They have been eliminated. And the Heat go on to win another championship for the 5th year in a row. And this time, Shawn Kemp wins Finals MVP. So we're in the year 1998 now. And Dirk gets drafted #1 to Philly. The Warriors get Vince Carter. The Nets get Paul Pierce, which is funny because he did play for the Nets at one point in time. And this Philly team now has 2 really good young players. They get a young T-Mac and Stephon Marbury. And the Hornets still keeping the same roster here, not really making any changes. So we get to the end of the season, and Shai once again is making All-NBA first team for the 3rd year in a row. He's currently in his 15th year, still no MVP yet, but he's made All-NBA first team 10 times. So coming back to the playoffs here, I think for the 3rd year in a row for them. They're at the 7th seed, facing a stacked Milwaukee team. And Chris Webber did just win the MVP this year, so they got a crazy team to play in the first round. Jason Kidd at a 94. So similar to that first round, Milwaukee sweeps the Hornets. Miami actually loses in the first round this year, and the Lakers make it past the first round, and Tim Duncan's now an 84 overall. So we simulate through the playoffs. Jason Kidd wins Finals MVP. The Bucks end up winning it all against the Suns. So we're in year 16 now for Shai. Sharif is now an 85 overall. They go and add Brad Daugherty, I forget how to say his name, but they end up adding Brad to the team, who's 34 years old, but he is an 85 overall. Desmond McMillan is now an 83 overall, and they got Rod Strickland on the team as well in the 82. The Hornets this year are 2nd in the power rankings, so let's see where they finish at the end of the season. So early in the season, the Hornets were the 1st seed, but now late in the season, they're all the way down to the 7th seed in the East. Chris Webber wins another MVP for the 2nd year in a row. Manu Ginobili wins Rookie of the Year. Shaq wins another DPOY. And this year, Shai does not make an All-NBA first team or second team, but he does make All-NBA third team. And at the end of the season, Sharif is now an 87 overall. Brad's at 86. So we sweep our way through the first round, which is a good look. We just beat the 2nd seeded Washington, who had Allen Iverson and Derek Fisher on their team. And now for the 2nd time, we get matched up against Miami. This Miami team still got Mark Price, Hawkins, Shawn Kemp, and Shaq. So we end up beating Miami 4-1. And Shai at the age of 34 still putting up some really good games here in the playoffs. Played 43 minutes, had 22 points, 13 rebounds, 17 assists with 4 steals or 5 steals, which is crazy. And then in game 2, he drops 13, 9, and 14. In game 3, he drops 27 points with 14 assists. Game 4, he drops 38 and 12. And for the final game, he drops 38 points and 13 rebounds, almost getting another triple-double. So Shai in the playoffs right now is currently averaging 27 points and 11 assists. And we sweep our way to the conference finals. We're back in the finals once again. And now we're facing the Sacramento Kings team, who do not have a superstar player here at all. And of course, we go ahead and sweep our way through the finals. Shai with his 2nd ring at the age of 34, now at 35. Sharif wins Finals MVP, averaging 23 points and 10 rebounds. So Shai in his 16th year adds another ring to his catalog. That is now 2 championships for Shai, 10 All-NBA first teams. He's made All-NBA defensive first team a few times as well. He's got 1 Finals MVP and a 14-time All-Star. So we're coming over to the player retirements. And as y'all know, Hakeem was drafted the same year as Shai. Hakeem finishes with 1 NBA championship, 1 MVP, and 1 Finals MVP. So all he really has over Shai is that 1 MVP, but Shai got 2 rings over him, and I think possibly more All-Star appearances. So entering the year 2000, Portland adds Jamal Crawford to the roster. Pistons get Kenyon Martin. The Nuggets get Turkoglu. Memphis gets Michael Redd, and the Rockets add Quentin Richardson. This is now year 17 for Shai. He is now 35 years old, and he's at an 88 overall. So even though Shai's getting up there in age, the Hornets are still one of the best teams in the NBA right now. They're 2nd in the power rankings. and they have the best record in the East right now. Chris Webber for the 3rd year in a row wins MVP. Kenyon Martin gets Rookie of the Year. KG wins DPOY, and Shai makes All-NBA second team. And this is now the first year since his first All-Star appearance where he does not make an All-Star team. And heading into the playoffs here, the Hornets still remain the best team in the East. And to finish off the first round, the Hornets end up winning, but unfortunately 2 players get injured. That's going to hurt them a lot. So Brad is out of the playoffs. McMillan gets an injury. Shai drops 32 points though, and Sharif drops 33. And there we go. The Hornets have been eliminated. They lose 4-1 to the second round, which is unfortunate due to injuries. And the Kings go back to the finals and win the NBA championship. And this Kings team is much better than what they were in the previous season. Baron Davis at 84. And after 22 long years, Magic finally retires with 8 rings, 4 MVPs, 8 finals MVPs, 18-time All-Star, 12-time All-NBA. This man had an insane career. 8 rings is crazy. He almost caught up to Bill Russell. We're now in the year 2002, and the Hornets are 7th in the power ranking. Shai's still in 88. Sharif's in 87. Brad is still hurt. We don't get him back for another 2 to 4 months. And Chris Webber goes on to win another MVP. I think that's his 4th MVP now. Yep, that is his 4th MVP. Gilbert Arenas wins Rookie of the Year. KG wins another DPOY. Kobe is now All-NBA first team. Shaq's still up there, All-NBA first team. And Shai Gilgeous at the age of 36 makes another All-NBA defensive first team. And we are back in the playoffs as the first seed in the East, facing off against the Atlanta Hawks. Shai in his 18th year, averaging 19.6 points per game and 8 assists. And simulating through this first round here, we end up advancing. We're back in the second round for the 2nd year in a row. And there we go, advancing to the conference finals. And we're now out here playing the 3rd seeded Raptors, who have an 86 overall Kelly Thorpe, Jerry Stackhouse at 87, Glenn Robinson's at 85. They got Ray Allen coming off the bench as well. And there we go, winning the series 4-2, advancing to the NBA Finals. And here we are in the NBA Finals facing the Memphis Grizzlies, who have Greg Anthony, Cuttino Mobley, Sean Marion, Cliff Robinson, Marcus Camby, and Brent Barry. So game 6, Shai turning the clock back with 27 points, 10 assists. McMillan with 33 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Sharif with 22 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. And Shai is currently averaging 27 points per game right now in the NBA Finals, which is a good look for him. So heading into this game 7, we're going to simulate. We're at home right now. We're heading into the 4th quarter, 9 minutes left. We're down by 2. 3 minutes left in the game. The score is 108 to 105, and we're going to jump in and watch the last 3 minutes of this game. So currently down 3 points with 3 minutes left. They get the ball to Shai. He's going to take a screen. He goes with the ISO, shoots a fade. He misses. That was a tough shot right there. It would have been a crazy shot if he hit that. Tough shot. Shai ends up missing. And Marcus Camby grabbing an insane rebound to get an and-1. Shai looking to take another screen here. Got the big man on the roll. He kicks it out to the corner. Wide open 3. And they knock it down. Memphis taking a crazy 3. They miss. Abdul Rahim with an easy layup to tie the game up with 2 minutes left. Shai playing some really good defense here, locking up defense. Contested shot. They miss it. We do not get the rebound. Marcus Camby is snagging rebounds out here. Marcus Camby with a rebound. They get the ball down to Shai in the post with a mismatch here. Shoots the fade. And Shai misses a big shot right there. Cuttino Mobley going for a layup. Knocks it down. The Hornets are now down 4 points. So McMillan looking to ISO here. He's driving to the paint. Gets fouled, going to the line. And they leave the paint wide open. And Marcus Camby gets an oop, easy layup there. Wide open 3 for Lewis. And he does not knock it. They're missing some big shots here. Greg Anthony taking a contested mid-range. He misses. Lewis taking the screen. Goes for a pull-up 3. And another miss for the Hornets. It's going for a pull-up 3. Strickland knocks down the big 3 there to put him down 1 point with 13 seconds left. He passes it to Abdul Rahif. Oh. That would have been crazy. So he gets fouled on the 3-point line. Free throws for Sharif right here. It would have been crazy if he hit that 3. That's crazy. So my PlayStation just overheated, completely shut down. The Hornets were up like 3 points with 2 minutes to go. I'll show y'all that. But we're going to have to do a simulation all over again. Shai's going to be back in the game. That's crazy because that was potentially the championship right there for them. They was up 3 points, but we're going to have to go ahead and run the simulation back because my PlayStation overheated. And with 8 seconds left, the game is tied. Looking like it's going to go to another OT. So we're going to jump in and watch the last 8 seconds of this game. And in this game 7, Shai only has 11 points, but does have 11 assists. And it's looking like Shai's going to take this his last shot to potentially win the game. He's shooting 3, and Shai hits a game winner. One of the last seasons for Shai at age 36 or 35, I forget what it is now. Shai takes only 8 shots, but does have 11 assists and 14 points. And the Charlotte Hornets win another ring. I believe that's Shai's 3rd ring there. So there they go, holding up the trophy. And let's see who gets the Finals MVP here. I don't think it's going to be Shai. Oh, it is Shai. So Shai, at the age of 36, is winning another Finals MVP. This is his 3rd ring and 2nd Finals MVP. So through all the ups and downs, from the losing seasons to the winning seasons, Shai stays with the Hornets, stays loyal to the Hornets. He did leave the Bulls, but he decided to stay loyal to the Hornets and wins 2 rings with them, wins 2 Finals MVPs. He won his first ring in 1988, and then 12 years later, he wins another ring, and then 2 years after that one, he goes and wins his 3rd ring. Shai in this series averaged 25 points, 10 assists, 2 steals, shot 51% from the field and 52% from 3. And throughout the playoffs there, he had multiple 30-point games. You see here, 31 points and 10 assists. Playing Toronto, 32 points, 36 points, 29 points, 32 points, a 27-point game, and then a 30-point game. So he had a lot of 30-point games throughout these playoffs, had a lot of good games. And even though in the Game 7 of the NBA Finals, he only put up 14 with 8 shots, he does hit a big shot to win the NBA Finals, to win the game. Shout out to him. That's 3 rings for Shai now. And Shai's former teammate retires. Patrick ends up retiring after 17 years, 1 NBA championship, 10-time All-Star. And we're now in year 18, and the Hornets still have a pretty good roster. We got Sharif at 87, Shai's an 86, McMillan's at 83, Rod Strickland at 80. Our team is up there in age though. We got Shai at the age of 37, McMillan's at 31, Rod Strickland's 36, Brad's 37, Andy Law's 33, Victor Alexander's 33. So we got a lot of veterans on this team. So in year 19 now, Shai is now 37 years old, still putting numbers up, averaging 21 points a game, 7 assists, and makes another All-NBA first defensive team, or All-Defensive first team, however you say it. I might be saying that, I might have been saying that wrong. So we're back in the playoffs here as the 8th seed. They've definitely regressed since the last season, coming off a championship. They're now the 8th seed. And looking at the numbers here, Shai's 37, but when it comes playoff time, he's always putting numbers up. Shai in that first game drops 32 points, 25 in the second game. The third game, he did have a bad game where he shot 6 for 21 with 18 points. But we simulate the next game. We go ahead and tie the series up 2-2 now. And it's looking like we're about to go into another OT or another game winner. 7 seconds left, just like the NBA Finals where there's 8 seconds left. And let's see, we're going to jump into this game and see who has the ball. So this time now, the Hornets do not have the ball. The Bucks are going to start off with the ball with 7 seconds left. Let's see if they can get a bucket. Jason Kidd wide open for a 3, and he misses. They're going into OT. Oh, wait, they're not going to OT. They got a timeout, so they got 2 seconds left. And we could potentially see another game winner here with 2 seconds left on the clock. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to jump in and throw this ball into Shai. I'm going to have Shai run corner, and I'm going to throw the ball into him. All right, so we get the ball into Shai. He shoots the midi, and he knocks it down. 74% contested. Another game winner for Shai Gilgeous. 0.2 seconds left on the clock. That is crazy, man. We had to get it back into Shai. He hit the NBA Finals game winner, and he goes ahead and hits another one to keep his playoff career going. So Shai this game, he ended up playing 39 minutes and did not have a good game. He shot 4 for 17, but he did have 14 assists, and what it mattered most, he hit the biggest shot of the night, hit a game winner. So after that game winner, the Hornets go on to win another game, and Shai in that game as well, shooting 2 for 14, so he's not playing too good right now, but they do go ahead and win that game and make it past the first round. And now we're facing the Celtics, and isn't this funny? KG is back on the Celtics, just like he was in real life. KG is now on the Celtics. He played about 7 years with Portland, and now he's with the Boston Celtics, averaging 25.2 points per game and 11.8 rebounds. So game 1, we end up winning. They win game 2. We win game 3. We're now up 3-1, and we go ahead and advance to the conference finals, beating the Boston Celtics. And in that game 1, Shai goes and turns back the clock with 40 points and 9 assists. Game 2, he drops 22, but he shot 4 for 19. Game 3, he drops 38. Game 4, he has 19 points with 10 assists. And in game 5, to finish it off, he finishes with 13 points, shooting 5 for 9. So we advance to the conference finals. Now we're playing the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're going to sim this first game. We win game 1. We lose game 2. We win game 3. We win game 4. And we go ahead and advance to the NBA Finals for the second year. We're up 4-1 right now. And we're going to be playing the Rockets, who honestly don't look like they have anybody on the team. It's all pretty low overalls. I mean, they do have people. They got Tony Parker on the team. They got a young Tony Parker. They got Quentin Richardson, Antoine Walker, but these are all low overall players. So we should honestly win another NBA final. And we go ahead and win another NBA championship. Shai with his 4th ring. Sharif winning finals MVP for the 2nd time. And despite Shai being 37 years old, he's still having big games like this. He drops 48 points in the last game and 8 assists, 6 threes, and they go ahead and win another ring. So Shai's now 19 years into his career with 4 NBA championships. championships. And we are now in the year 2003. This is the year that LeBron gets drafted. You see the Jazz take Carmelo with the #1 pick. LeBron's going to Portland. Dwayne Wade's going to the Knicks. Chris Bosh to the Supersonics. So we're now in Shai's 20th season. He's now an 84 overall. He's regressed a lot. Honestly, this might be his last year. He's played 16 seasons with the Hornets and has brought them 3 rings. Chris Webber gets another MVP. LeBron wins Rookie of the Year. Stephon Marbury with 6th Man of the Year. DPOY goes to Marcus Camby. And the Hornets are back in the playoffs, but unfortunately Shai is hurt. He's still playing, but he is dealing with an injury right now. And we're playing the Heat in the playoffs. Once again, the Heat still got Sean Kemp and Shaq. They added Karolinko to the team, and it's looking like we're gonna get swept. So we lose that series 4-1. Miami makes it all the way back to the finals again after a few years of not making it, and they win another ring. Shaq in this finals averages 30 points, 9 rebounds a game. This is his 6th NBA championship, and like I suspected, after 20 long seasons, Shai finally retires with 4 NBA championships, 2-time NBA Finals MVP, 16-time All-Star, 10-time First Team All-NBA, and he did make a bunch of all-defensive teams too. They just don't show it for some reason, but he probably got about 10 All-NBA defensive teams too, or 8. And let's look at Shai's game highs here. His career high is 61 points. He's hit 10 threes in the game before. 15 rebounds was his highest. 19 assists, 7 steals, and 4 blocks was his highest. So those are his career highs right there. But that's the end of the video right there. This video has been long enough. We're probably about like an hour in, something close to that. So the Michael Jordan, I'll make that a second video where I give Michael Jordan Shai's career. He'll be drafted in 2018 by the Clippers, and we'll see how that goes for Michael Jordan. He'll be in the Martin era playing against LeBron and all these other greats. But alright, y'all, thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.